Well, that was the financial literacy segment by our correspondent Achal Gulati. In fact, if you start early, investing, you'll be getting good results as well in that. And then moving on to our next segment, it is our special interview segment. We'll just watch whom we interview today.
Today for the special interview, we are joined by Mr.R.Narayan, CEO of Power2SME. Let's talk to him more about the Power2SME. Welcome to DDNews, sir. I would start with Power2SME. It is known as the first buying club. What do you have to say? Can you elaborate more about Power2SME?
See, Power2SME, if you look at the tagline, the mission of the company, it's empowering SMEs to enable the India growth story. So it's basically creating an ecosystem around the SMEs for them to flourish better in this country. So we start with raw materials, and what we do is we try and source raw materials at a cheaper price for the SMEs, and that's one of the leading lines that we have taken. If you look at the SME problems, along with margins, which is profits, the other big problem they face is finance. And we're trying to help out there too with our tie-ups with our NBFCs and banks, etc. What they do is they come to the table with us, evaluate the SMEs that we are working with, and based on their strengths of their books, they set up an account limit for them, which is like an inventory financing. It's like a working capital need that is sufficed for the SMEs.
All right. If we talk about a little bit about what got you with the idea of starting up with Power2SME, what was the idea behind it?
Okay, so in my previous company, this is my second entrepreneurial venture, my earlier entrepreneurial venture. I used to handle the enterprise sales segments and the SME sales segment of many companies. And when I was doing that, I saw the stark difference in pricing that a large corporate would get vis-a-vis a small SME or an unknown entity. And this would be done under the pretext of enterprise accounts, and enterprise accounts always hugely got better deals than anybody else. This is a known fact in life, but I decided that, if you look at India as a country, more than 60-70% of India's population is supposed to be employed by the SME, and we need to do something to enable those things to happen. If you want those things to happen, SMEs have to be profitable. So I decided to use this as a problem to be solved, that the price difference between the enterprise and the SME, and we could kind of cut through it and help them with that.
When you started up, what were the initial problems or hiccups, if we can say, that you faced during the initial phase? 49%
of the worldwide GDP is, the SME contribution. In India, it's like 8 to 9%. So there's a huge headroom for SMEs to grow, and that's a good news.
What was the initial revenue generation, and what was the basic capital that was used for setting up this Power2SME?
So when we started this as on the canvas, so we put aside funding of around 2 crores to fund this company. And as the company grew, in year 1 we clocked 19 crores of revenue. In year 2 we've clocked 64 crores of revenue. Year 3, which is just started this April, we're hoping to do northwards of 150 crores of revenue. Along the way, we picked up investors. In our Series C, we picked up close to 13 crores of funding from 3 investors, and then we picked up a follow-on round of 33 crores in Series B. That happened around 9 months back.
Do you think that there's lack from the government side or major initiatives in the SME sector to be taken up so that it also flourishes and contributes majorly to the GDP?
See, the government is taking some steps. They are yet to land very nicely, so that's one issue that needs to be solved. But the very fact that SME businesses are self-built is that they would not wait for stimuluses only. A company like mine, Power2SME, provides that stimulus for SMEs to grow faster and faster.
And going forward, what will be your outlook? What is the future that you're looking forward to, and how do you think you can make a change in the SME sector?
It's just not me, it's many people like me and many people who are, I think SME's time has come in India. Till, yesterday it was an agri economy, and, it was the farmer's time, etc. People are standing up and noticing the SME opportunity today. And so I think tomorrow is the year or the years or the decade of the SMEs. And when we look at our collaboration with the banks and the way we are working with them, the sky is the limit. We can grow to any extent, and we can partner with as many SMEs as we want. So we're looking forward to a very bright tomorrow.
Mr. Narayan, for speaking and giving those outlook on the SME sector. Hope so that there will be more contribution from the SME sector in our GDP. Thank you very much.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
इस इंटरव्यू के बाद चलते हैं बीएससी स्टूडियो मुंबई, मूलराज जी जहां पर हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं। मूलराज जी, अगर कुछ शेयर्स की बात करें